So here we are, last toy from Wizard I've got. That's basically it. I don't have anything left to review. You know, this feels anticlimactic. Maybe I should wait till I've got the dice saber and the axe caliber, like make a sword themed week out of it. Then, I'd actually have an infinity ring to use and what? Okay, fine. I'll review it now. Jeez, for an imaginary person watching this video that I can't actually hear and isn't actually talking to me, you sure are whiny. So we end the farewell to Wizard with one of his first toys released. Hey, it makes sense to me. This is the WizarSwordGun, a name my tongue doesn't like to say, and probably one of the least creative names I've heard for a writer toy. But let's not judge it on that. From top to bottom, the weapon was designed to be a perfect companion to the Wizard Driver. It's cast in the same gray plastic, and features the same love of shiny chrome that gives me a lot of filming problems. Also carried over is the diamond texture to the chrome, as well as to the areas painted in metallic silver. It's all over the gun, really, far more than it was on the driver. One detail not carried over was the gold chrome. Like the Drago Timer, the sword gun's hand is trimmed in metallic paint, which I do prefer. The barrel itself is cast in a smoky white translucent plastic, which will come into effect when we turn it on. Form-wise, I like the size. There's a weight to it in the back where the electronics are. It doesn't look huge in the hand like the one in the show. It's actually more of a proper size, though my hand's a bit big for it. This is a child's toy after all. So let's get to demos. First up, we turn on. Sweet, it didn't roar at me. As I pull the trigger, the barrel will rotate colors, 5 in all. Red, blue, green, yellow, white, all 5 of Wizard's form colors. See? The sword gun gave us a hint all along about infinity and nobody caught it. Still, with only one gunfire noise, I'm glad to see an additional function, which actually looks better in rapid fire. But the real function with this is the rings, and they started you off with 2, Hurricane and Land. Yep, this is how they got the other 2 DX rings out. That's a lot of toy to buy for 4 henshin rings. Hurricanes, of course, is cast in green with a triangle cut to its gemstone, while Land is done in a square cut and cast in yellow. As usual, both have a flip-up visor for hiding as a real ring, which is a small gimmick, but I still really like the thought that went into it. But now for the real gimmick. Opening the hand works like pulling the hammer on a gun, except the hammer is the thumb of the hand. Let's go ahead and demo with Hurricane. First thing I notice is, since the idea is to shake hands with the henshin ring you once scanned, again, this toy really only works in your right hand. I was joking about Bandai hating lefties, but I'm really starting to wonder here. Regardless, I do like the function it adds. While the hand is open, let's see some extra detail, like the wizard's spell circle molded in, and the insides of the fingers being trimmed in gold as well. As for the electronic effects, I'm quite a fan. I like that the weapon has its own form of chanting from the driver. Same words, different tone. Now let's try again, this time with Land. Again, its own color, added touch to the sounds, and its own chant. Tell you what, let's just get the others from the Wizard Driver out of the way too. And this is just the start. For now, we have another mode to try out. First, close up the hand. Instructions want you to put the thumb down first, but folding in the hand will close the whole thing by itself. Transforming requires 2 buttons that lock it into place. The first one on the front side to raise the barrel, and the other on the hinge in back that flips the blade up and activates the noise. This is where I mentioned the thing that always comes up when talking about Rider sword toys. This is not meant for your grown-up body. Yes, it's a small sword for you and I, but it's made for a little kid. I mean, if you were only 3 feet tall, this thing would be the perfect size. If it was as big as the one in the show, it'd be bigger than the kid meant to play with it. So let's just skip all the whining about the size. For who it's designed for, it's a good size. On the upside, I do like how the design gets around the usual small blade issue that comes with that, as it runs all the way to the hilt here. As usual, it's soft plastic to avoid damaging belongings and siblings. Function-wise, obviously it doesn't make the shooting noise anymore. In fact, we have 2 noises. One sound for slashing, another for stabbing. I like the variety. Since you wouldn't rapid fire a sword, you get some extra uses out of it instead. And that's not all that's changed. Really nice slashing attack noise. Plus, this one has that satisfying explosion at the end that says the monster's really not happy anymore. Who's next? In fact, this works for all the form rings. I'll demo the dragons, but to be quick, I'll tell you the attack noise is the same. It just ends with the dragon roar at the end. The chant and scan, though, that's special. In fact, it's amazing just how much this thing can scan. For instance, all spell rings work. The attack is generic, but it can name all the ones the Wizard Driver can. Now watch as I stab my foe with politeness. Seriously, you can't stump this thing, even with things I don't think a gun can shoot. I mean, no wonder this thing was so expensive at release. It has the same scanning function as the driver. That's kind of unreal when most of the weapon toys are very small in comparison. Now, all of those have the same generic attack, but for variation, it can tell beast rings apart, and not only adds the animal noise for each, but changes to beast's yellow color instead of orange for the attack. Back to gun mode. There's a similar attack noise for spell rings in gun mode too, but it is different. So for one last scan, let's make this the most dangerous weapon of all. A gun shooting rider kicks. And I guess to be complete, we should demo the henshins too, though by now this is old hat for most. That does mean, once again, we need the ride bucket. Yes, we play the trumpet. The review's going along as it is. Let's scan. So all in all, I'm amazed by how much function the toy has. For its price, I'd almost say it has more function than the Wizard driver did right out of the box, with 2 modes, sounds for each, and variations to both of its rings it comes with. Plus, it gives a ring collection a lot more to do, making those more worth having as well. Yeah, it was expensive to get both when they first came out together, but I think it might have been worth it. There's a lot to this pair, and it's been fun seeing what both were capable of over the last year.